Hello guys and welcome to some more AOR GT3 Season 8 highlights here for round 5 of the season in the Senior Pro League at Monza, and here we are in qualifying now doing our first laps here, and this is the race where we can actually win the championship. Here I have to win the race and I think that is what I need to do. Actually I don't need to take pole at all, but I just need to win the race, but pace was looking really good here, and here we are in qualifying. We're on the hard tyre for qualifying. I thought that was the better tyre for me to be on. Monza track obviously we know very well from the F1 games, so I've got a decent amount of track knowledge around here, but I was struggling. The new patch came out beforehand, patch 3.0, and it didn't feel very good, to be honest, on the pad, and particularly in general everywhere on the wheel as well. The oversteer was unbearable. The tyre patch on this game now, and it's quite, it's not great, and these GT3 cars slide a lot, as you see here. So for me, I had to set the car up a lot. I started on Monday and I was sweating the setup for 2 or 3 days, just trying to find the perfect balance, and I've actually found the balance. For some reason, offline is more oversteery than online, which is a very interesting fact. So initially, going into Wednesday, I didn't feel that the setup was that nailed. I felt it was still hard to drive, but it was quick. But once I got online, did some online practice on Wednesday before the race, I mean, I felt the car was set up perfectly, and gave me a lot of confidence here. But we're in the first sort of quality laps of the race. Here I'm just trying to get a banker down, make sure I've got a good lap in. And we're doing 48s. There's a video that's out actually already on my channel, which is a hot lap video. I did a 48.3 there. And that was a very good lap. That was actually offline, where the car was very unstable. So here I kind of felt that it was a bit easier on the traction, so maybe it would have been maybe faster perhaps, or maybe on power 48.3. So we're into the Scarish chicane now, hitting it pretty well. Quite a tricky set of corners actually, particularly the first part of Scary. If you hit the inside curb there, you are going to spin. It's very simple, and that was something I was struggling with a lot in practice. But here the car felt really good to drive, and now heading into Parabolica. The car was sticking. We can take a lot more speed through here, shifting quite quickly down the gears, which is quite unrealistic, but that was me getting away with it. But obviously in the race it gave me engine damage. But here we come to the line now. It's going to be a good lap here, and it's a long wait here. We set quite high wings for this circuit as well, and usually 2-4 wings around here, and we did a 48.898 for our banker lap, so that was pretty good out of the gate. 7/10 off our personal best. I was pretty happy with that initially, but that was definitely much more improvement. Towards the end of the session, we're 6.5 minutes away from the session ending, and we're still on top, about 9 tenths in front of the one American in second place. And here we're going for a lower lap here, and this is my fastest lap of the session, and I was pretty happy with this lap indeed. And here we go, we're going to start the lap. Got a bit of traffic coming out the pit lane here, and we should be okay here. As we head down to the first chicane now, braking just after 150 meter ball now, down to second gear, now first gear, and hitting the apex nicely, and the second apex really nicely as well. Get on the power as quick as you can, and that was a really good exit from the first chicane, much better than my previous lap, and that sets us up for this long straight here. But obviously the higher wings, I didn't have much straight on speed, but I needed the higher wings, so the oversteer was so bad in this Audi. The Audi's completely changed compared to what it was. But now heading into section chicane now, braking just underneath that bridge, down to second gear, hit the apex on the inside nicely, and then the right side could have taken a little bit more speed through there, but didn't want to risk it too much, and that's a really good complex. Now there's my 1 coming up now, and we've taken the inside, much more speed through there than we had before, and now there's Mo 2. And then down the third gear here, and a little bit off the apex, and a little bit of understeer, but otherwise not too bad. I'm not getting it too wide, and now it's this long straight here once again, which is basically where our car is going to suffer the most, definitely in the race. Underneath the bridge before Ascari, and it's looking a very good lap so far. Ascari going to take this as hard as we can, down the third gear now, hit the inside apex nicely, not too much, and then hugging the inside now to the left, and that was a really good complex of corners. So that's been a really good lap so far, and I knew I was up on this lap. I was really happy, just generally around the circuit I could see where I was faster than the others. And now into the Parabolica now, down to third gear for this corner. We're going to hug the inside line here, a little bit of oversteer on the rear end, a little bit of lack of grip, but now we're heading to the line, could have taken a little bit more speed through there, but other than that, not too bad. And here we come, it's going to be an even faster lap than before, and across the line we're going to come here. It's a bit longer than the F1 variant, but now across the line, and it's a 48.509, and that was a great lap, and that put us on pole by over a second. So that was a superb lap there, and I was really happy with that lap. That was on par with our offline pace, and we're on pole. Both my teammates EVIPS and Evo Hurricane had a really mess session. They're really struggling with the car because of the new patch. I had to really work with the car to be good at it, and they obviously just did a day of practice and they really struggled. So yeah, that was qualifying. We did a really good job there, solid job, and just sets us up fantastically for the race. And heading into this one on the hard tyre, taking a different strategy to most people. I think most people actually run the soft tyre here, and I chose the hard because I felt it's a better race tyre for me. And we're going to head on to our formation lap right now, yeah, we're just going to try our best here. You know, realistically, I felt that our straight line speed would be the problem around here, and that was a problem. But we're heading up to the formation zone now. We're in the formation zone, and this is going to be interesting to see how this all plans out. We've got the one American with us as well, and he's in the Porsche, and that really was pulling down the straight, and you'll see it in a bit. We had a massive battle with him. We had round Parabolica before going on the other end of this pit wall, and just gonna make sure we've got to keep it. And the temperatures on the front end are really cold as well. So a problem with me was that because of the straights, the hard tyre would often get really cold down the straight. So, and obviously it's in the night time conditions and it's heavy clouds. So here we go now. We're going to go racing now. We've gone racing already. A really good start to the race now. But the one American has got some OP straight line speed in that Porsche now. And we head down into the first chicane. And you can see by the end of the straight, he's catching us so massively down the straight, and we head down into the first chicane, down the first gear, clip the apex nicely, and at this point the car was understeering a little bit, so the fronts and the rears weren't up to quite up the temperature, and I just felt that kind of have to be a bit cautious in the first sort of 2 or 3 laps to try and get the tyres into the right gauge. So now he's right on us. You can see how quick he is in a straight line. Because I was running more wing, I was running 2.4 because the stability of the car wasn't great. So I had to run more wing around here than I really expected to. And now we're into the second chicane, speak English. And we've got oversteer like hell. And he's got a really good run on us on the left-hand side. We're going to park it on the inside here. Down the third gear. We're hugging the inside well as well. It's really well, so that's pretty good. And now into the second Nismo. Down the third gear. And a little bit of understeer there, and he takes a bit more speed. So look at this. Now on the straight, he's got a better exit than us. He's in our slipstream, and he's going to try and get past us here. He's going to go to the right-hand side. We're going to make him go all the way around the long way, basically. And he goes on the outside, heading into a Ascari, but he knows that isn't a move he can pull off. I brake a little bit later, didn't know I was going to be able to stop the car, but I was able to. I had to park it on the apex, so still to the inside line, and now Ascari was pretty good, but now once again another straight, and this is my worry. He was really quick out to Ascari as well, and he's right on us. He had much more speed in the car, and he's trying his best. He's going to the left hand side he goes, and I'm going to park it on the inside of Parabolica, but he's going to be so much better than me because I'm going to much wider through here, and he's going to have this whole long straight to get past me, and here it was that close. I really need to break away by a second, and I didn't do that in the first lap, so I was at a major disadvantage now. Heading down this long straight, he's catching me as quickly as hell, and I've got no answer to him, and he goes straight past me, and I have nothing. I'm going to try my best to go on the inside of this chicane. I'll try my best down the first gear, but I couldn't hold it. I lock up a little bit, I leave him on the inside, I try and cut back on him here. We get a nice cut back, he moves across on us a little bit, we're going to go real to real with him, but at this point I knew he didn't have the straight line speed. He had the straight line speed compared to me, and he had got the move done, and we're still going side by side, but he's got it done. So that's him. He's in the P1. I didn't want to risk it too much. At this point in time, my teammates were down in 4th and 5th, so at the moment, as it stands, I am winning the championship. I'm in championship position, but I wasn't going to give up there. He went a little bit deeper at the chicane there. I got a really good run actually. And we're looking on the inside of Parabolica. We're going to try it, but it's not easy. I go on the inside, I get a little bit of oversteer, I back off a little bit there. But there, you know, we really are risking it now. But the one American was driving superbly well, really good racing between me and him. I got a good run from Lesmo too. But my teammates were, as I said, you know, my main rivals were in 4th and 5th, and at this point I am in championship position, so I wasn't too worried about the win, but I really wanted to win around here. This fight was so good, and I couldn't stop having this fight, because we haven't really had a major fight this season. I actually brake really late, and he goes straight on, and that was a very interesting collision. I didn't brake late, in my opinion, and he broke really early on my screen, but apparently he didn't on his screen. So I think there was some lag involved. I didn't get any damage, when I should have got damage. So that was very interesting to see what happened there. I didn't feel I broke too late, but I let him go because I felt that might have been my fault. But that was yeah, not cool. I didn't feel that I did actually hit him, as I've gone really wide, gone too fast with that parabolica. So I didn't feel that I mean, it was really odd, because when I hit him, normally the pad vibrates when you hit somebody. It didn't vibrate, so it didn't feel like it's as if that it was actually lag in the lobby, and the collision we had wasn't actually a collision. But that's very interesting anyway. I let him go on with his race, and look at that, how much later we can brake than the Porsche. So actually, on the brakes and through the corners, we're much better. And this was the most frustrating thing. We get cut back once again, but he just has to straight down speed down the straight. I couldn't respond to him because he was so quick down the straight, and I just had nothing. So that was a frustrating thing. I could brake much more later than him, take more speed through corners. At this point, the car has been completely completely just warmed up at this point, so I have much more confidence in the car. And it goes deep in the chicane once again, but I take the completely bad line there, and I hit the inside sausage curb too much, and that's completely thrown me off. So he's gone away, but going on to lap 5 now, we've got a really good run from Lesmo 2 again. So that tended to be his weak spot. Lesmo 2 in that second chicane, that's where he was losing the time a little bit. So here, we're once again on him again. We're in the slipstream, and we were getting time on the straights in the slipstream. So we had okay front line speed, but generally he had better front line speed than me. And we go into Scary once again, and we're going to try and get the best exit possible. And you can see he was struggling on the softs. It doesn't seem that he has as much grip as I do, because I've got more wing on the car. I'm on the harder tyres, which means they don't wear as much, because the soft tyres wear so much. And I thought the hard tyre was a better race tyre, and it's proving here. He's definitely, it seemed to me that he was struggling with grip. As we head into Parabolica once again, a little bit twitchy, but he's gone really deep there, and they've got a really good run. But again, I've got the move done, but he's got a straight line speed down the straight, so I legit just, basically it was like me overtaking him and then just going back straight past me again. It's like DRS, isn't it? So he's gonna get past me once again, and I'm just going to try my best to here. I was like, you know what, I'm going to brake as late as I can and make sure he can't get past me. So here we go, into the first chicane now. I'm going to brake as late as we dare. We're going to brake, and I nearly didn't make it. I thought I didn't make it. Hit the social club on the inside, and I block him off. And there you go, we're into the lead. And that is exactly what I needed to do. If I wanted to win this race, that is how I wanted to do it. I didn't have to win this race. You know, I had people behind me. My rivals were behind me. I was going to gain points enough to be able to win the championship, but I wanted to win the race. In that sort of battles, you want to come out on top, and I didn't want to let down just some really great action. And we had some really great action there, and that was superb. As he goes really deep into such a chain once again, and we're going to get away here. And now it was time for me to break away. I had the pace, I had the confidence. The car was responding well to me, and it was just a great car to drive at this point. The grip had come up now, everything was warmed up, and we're trying to streak away from the One American. And he's sort of about 3 or 4 seconds behind us, roughly. And we're going for a fast lap of the race, 50.1. At this point in the race, I was pounding in fast lap. I was going every lap, I was going faster and faster and faster and faster, and the car was absolutely brilliant to drive. Really, really great to drive around here. And coming on to lap 11 now, we're going to go for another fast lap of the race as well, and it's going to be a 1 minute 50.172. So again, a match for the previous lap time as well, and it was just really great to race here. Lap 12, everything was great. You know, the car was performing really well. Lap 12 again towards the end of it. That's going to be another fast lap for us as well. And across the line we come as a 150.0. So that actually was our fastest lap of the race, I believe. And that was a great lap, really good, and just streaking ahead now, using the car. The engine wasn't going to be a problem in this race because it was cooler, because obviously it was heavy cloud, it was night time, and it was in the autumn, so it was kind of cooler, and we didn't have to worry about the engines too much. But here, I'm just to speed up the race here, as we go really consistent, and just everything was working out in my favour. I just had to make sure I was making mistakes, and really, when you're in this zone, when you're pushing so hard, you know, I really wanted to win this race. You know, in that position, I was swinging the One American. I wasn't thinking about the championship. I was thinking at one point I was sort of lap 1 or 2, lap 2 where we were battling with him. I was thinking about the championship at this point, and when he got part, I let him just let him go. But once I got my tyres warmed up and I was pushing, and I could see I was faster than him, I just wasn't thinking about the championship. I was thinking about the win. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the win in its own. So I wasn't thinking about the championship when I was battling him for most of the time anyway. Only in the earlier part of the race. When I was battling him, I wanted to come out on top and win it. And when you're in that position, it's great because it makes you more hungry. And I think if you think about the championship too much in a race, you do make more mistakes. And at this point here, as you're just going consistently around the track, I wasn't thinking about championship at all. I was just wanted to win this race in a great way, and that's what I wanted to do as our teammates in the pit lane. And by lap 16, I could see it sort of ended here, and I sort of put it down to like normal when I behaved the engine a bit, as I was in that position to do so. And the tyres were sort of not at their best, and they do wear a lot, particularly in the second half of the race. At lap 30 now, nothing happens, and you see the wear has really taken a toll now. We're in 52s, so the wear has really gone up through the roof. But I believe people on the softs were even struggling as well, so we're in that equal balance in the same scenario. But a lot off our qualifying time, and we really were just trying to cruise it around the circuit. We weren't pushing it too hard, because whenever I was trying to push the car a little bit, the car would oversteer, and it was really hard to control. So the car just was pretty tricky to control. But we're just trying to wrap up this race now. I knew at this point I was in championship position. As we fast forward time once again, I knew I was in championship position, and obviously only 4 of us left in this race. I think people just really were struggling with the conditions and the new patch, really. Not the turnout that we wanted, but I'm sure it's going to improve, hopefully for Spa. We've got a Spa rerun next week, but yeah, it's not going to be... I don't think it's going to be a great turnout there either, because people don't really want to do it. But it's just been a really great race. We were keeping consistent, we were keeping our head down, not making any mistakes, and I was just pushing like it was another race, really. Nothing was in my mind. I just pushed like it was another race, and that was all I could do. And it was really just great to just go around the circuit. And this race was a very long race, because the straights are so long, and there's so many stopping points and stuff like that. So it was really, really gruelingly long. I just wanted to get it done. It was quite boring in that sense. I felt that maybe we did too many laps around here, because this is about an hour and a half. So it's one of the longest races of the season. But now the last lap of the race here, as we're coming towards the end here. And it's just been thoroughly great, just keeping on circuit. I was twitching around a lot as well, because the left-hand side, you can see over half worn. So stopping the fast-forwarding here, as we're coming up to Oscar for the last time. And this has been a great season. The support on Twitter has been great. Team EVR has been great. We're going to wrap up both championships here, you know. And EVR Motorsport, it's a big shout-out to them, because I got into that team. I joined that team whilst I was actually... towards my end of the F1 League racing stuff, and I was joining them in a quest to try and do more Porsche Cars League racing. I did the IndyCar season for AOR in season 2, and here I did Porsche Cars 2, and I went on to a game on a pad which isn't very good, and I risked it all, and it's paid off so massively. We've won 5 wins back to back, and we're going to come to the line to be the AOR season 8 Semi Pro GT3 champion. What a result! There you go, guys. We have won the championship, won the race, 5 wins in a row, with 1 more race remaining. It means so much to be an AOR champion finally, and it's been a long time coming. AOR has inspired me for years. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you very soon. Leave a like and subscribe, and peace out. Thank you.